I said, believe it or not, some of this is believable. Included clauses allowing Leonard to do nothing, yet still collect payment. That's the Kawhi Leonard I know. Doing nothing and getting paid for it.
Brace yourself. Breaking news, surprising news. I mean, it's going to shock you. Kawhi Leonard might not be there. The ink didn't even dry. It never fails. Stephen A. too hard. I mean, come on, man. Come on, dog. Kawhi Leonard. Yo, man, you too hard on him.
A bombshell report just dropped that is threatening to turn the NBA upside down, with claims that Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers may have pulled off a massive deception. The allegation, secretly funneling an extra $28 million to the superstar through what's being called a fraudulent no-show job. The league has already launched an investigation, so we're breaking down this developing story and asking the big question. If these accusations are true, who's the real villain? The entire NBA world is buzzing over a report from journalist Pablo Torre that could rock the league. The central claim is that the Los Angeles Clippers allegedly found a creative and illegal way to pay Kawhi Leonard an extra $28 million to get around the salary cap. This wasn't some simple backroom payment. This was an alleged scheme involving a now bankrupt startup called Aspiration Partners, a so-called green company that Clippers owner Steve Ballmer had personally invested $50 million into. According to Torre's reporting, which cites internal documents and a former employee, Aspiration gave Kawhi a massive endorsement deal. But here's the kicker. There's reportedly no evidence that Kawhi ever did any actual work for them. It was allegedly a no-show job, a way to pad his pockets beyond his official $176 million contract. A former finance employee for Aspiration was even quoted as saying the deal was designed to circumvent the salary cap. To make things even messier, Aspiration is now bankrupt, and its co-founder has pleaded guilty to wire fraud charges for defrauding investors, casting a huge shadow of suspicion over the whole operation. So how did this all allegedly go down? The timeline is what's raising so many eyebrows. In August 2021, Kawhi Leonard signed his 4-year, $176 million contract with the Clippers. Just 1 month later, Steve Ballmer invested $50 million of his own money into Aspiration, which then inked a massive $300 million sponsorship deal with the Clippers. Then, in April 2022, Aspiration agreed to pay Kawhi's personal company, KL2 Aspire, LLC, $28 million. But this next part, if true, is going to be tough to explain. Torre's report claims that documents show a clause stating the endorsement deal would be voided if Leonard ever left the Clippers. If this was just a normal celebrity endorsement, why would it be tied to his employment with a specific team? A team whose owner just happens to be a major investor in the company paying him. For their part, the Clippers have forcefully denied any wrongdoing. Ballmer called the idea that he invested in Aspiration to funnel money to Kawhi absurd and claims that he himself was conned by a fraudulent company. But with the NBA now investigating, these connections are hard to ignore. For fans who've been around the league a while, this story might sound eerily familiar. It brings back memories of the Joe Smith and Minnesota Timberwolves scandal from the late 90s. Back then, the Timberwolves made an illegal, under-the-table deal to sign Smith for way less than he was worth, with the promise of a huge payday later on. When the league found out, the punishment was absolutely devastating. Then Commissioner David Stern stripped the team of 5 first-round draft picks, fined them $3.5 million, and voided Smith's contract. That case set a powerful precedent. The league does not mess around with salary cap circumvention. While today's CBA penalties are different, a fine up to $4.5 million and the loss of 1 first-round pick for a first offense, the commissioner still has the power to void contracts and issue much harsher punishments, especially for a potential fraud of this scale. One Western Conference GM reportedly even texted that if the allegations are true, the NBA will be pissed about this, and the punishment could be worse than what happened in Minnesota with Joe Smith. This brings us to the most important question of all. What do you think is going on here? Before you jump into the comments, if you want to see more breakdowns like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But I really need to know your thoughts on this. If these allegations prove true, who do you think is the real villain? Is it Kawhi Leonard and his infamous advisor, Uncle Dennis? for allegedly taking money for a job he never did? Is it Steve Ballmer and the Clippers front office for potentially orchestrating an elaborate scheme to cheat the system? Or is this just a symptom of a bigger problem, one that exposes how the ultra-wealthy can always find loopholes? The NBA's investigation is just getting started, but the stakes couldn't be higher. The consequences could range from massive fines and the loss of draft picks to the unthinkable, voiding Kawhi Leonard's entire contract. A move like that wouldn't just cripple the Clippers franchise for years, it would send a shockwave across the entire league. This story is about more than just money. It's about the very integrity of the game. What do you think the punishment should be? Let me know your verdict in the comments below.